Welcome back to another episode of Void City Customs. I am Dan, and today we are going to be looking at a custom Supergirl I made. This is a McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Supergirl figure, and I have made some modifications to it using some pieces from some other McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures, and I will walk you through it now, start to finish. Let's take a look at this Supergirl figure. So why did I make this custom figure? So I didn't really hate the original version of Supergirl that came out from McFarlane Toys. It was fine. I mean, it is what it is. It had the blue all the way down, so the whole outfit was blue, and then it had red all the way up. So she has like red tights on, or even pants. I'm not sure what they were meant to be exactly, because they aren't really exactly what her outfit is typically depicted as having. So that being said, I just thought, you know, I've got some pieces lying around from some other custom parts that I know I'm not going to need for anything else. Let's see if I can make this Supergirl just a little bit more interesting, just so it stands apart amongst the other super family and has a bit more unique of a costume rather than just being like the straight up almost copy of just Superman's costume with a skirt. So let's take a look at the parts you will need, and then I'll walk you through how I made this. So the recipe for this figure is pretty simple. It requires obviously the DC Multiverse Supergirl figure. You can use the regular or the platinum version. It doesn't really matter for these modifications. None of the reds or blues come from any other figures, so you don't have to match them or anything like that. That will be fine. It's just whatever version you feel like having on your shelf. The next figure you'll need is a Last Night on Earth Wonder Woman, either the regular one with the mohawk or the one with the Doctor Strange helmet. Again, it doesn't really matter. You're going to be using her midsection and a piece of her chest armor as well. Lastly, you will need a Suicide Squad Harley Quinn figure, the one in the red dress where you can see her tattoos and everything. You'll be using her thighs, and I will show you how we did that as well, but that's how we get the skin colored thighs there as opposed to just red all the way up. Alright, so as far as how to make this figure, this one's not that hard at all. There's just a couple little places you're going to want to be really careful because it's kind of a delicate operation. Otherwise, I'm sure there's other ways to do it. You could probably change some of the methods used here and do it your own way. This is just how I did this, and again, if you want to do it the same way, that's awesome. If not, that's why there's all these different videos out there on YouTube land, so that you can see all the different ways people figure out how to make their action figures all they can be. So first things first, I heated up some water in a bowl and used it to pull apart all the pieces here. So I pulled the torso apart, pulled the middle section out of there, and took apart the whole lower section so I could take the legs out and take apart the legs by poking out these pins here. And again, you do this after you heat these all up with some really hot water. I boil mine on the stove. You can use a kettle, you can use whatever you want, the microwave, and then I let it cool for a couple of seconds because you don't want it to be like straight up boiling, and you definitely don't want it to still be on the fire if you do use the stove. Just be warned, you'll end up with some melty slop if you do it that way. Anyways, so now I got those pieces apart. The next thing I did was I took apart the Wonder Woman and the Harley Quinn figure the same way. I took apart the legs of the Harley Quinn figure, so I just had the thighs. I took apart the Wonder Woman figure, so I just had the midsection and the chest section here for Wonder Woman also. Now, for Wonder Woman, there is a gold trim that goes around the bottom of the chest piece. Around there, there are 2 layers of it. I used an X-Acto blade to cut off 1 layer of that gold from the bottom of the Wonder Woman figure, and then I used Gorilla Glue and glued it on to Supergirl here because I figured it looked a bit nicer to have an extra bit of texture there, and I thought it matched the belt better having that gold trim on the suit. It's a little bit Michael Turner inspired possibly. This figure's sort of like a mashup, I think, possibly in the end of multiple different Supergirls. I don't know. So after I glued the trim on there from the Wonder Woman chest armor, I heated up this midsection and popped it on there. You didn't have to change anything about the pegs. And then I did the same thing for the pelvis, just popped it on there. And now that's all hooked up and ready to go. Now the only thing left to do was to fix the Harley Quinn legs. So originally Harley's legs have a bunch of tattoos on this one. So I used some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip and a lot of patience. Patience is good to have, or you could probably use like acetone or paint thinner or something else. Just be very careful. I think nail polish remover even. Just again, be careful. You can sometimes affect the plastic and that's no good. But used a Q-tip and just rubbed it off of there until it was clean. And I did not repaint the legs. They are slightly different, but because they are separated by the skirt, it matches enough. And if there is a slight deviation that you ever notice there, I just tell myself, well, okay, she's got like tights on or something. I don't know. Stockings, whatever those things are. I don't know. Something. Who knows? It looks fine to me. So I left it and just reattached the pegs, punched back in here. The only modification I had to do was a little bit of a trim around the bottom of the legs here, right in that area, on the Harley Quinn thigh part. I did not alter Supergirl's knees at all. I just trimmed a little bit off the bottom of the thigh so that they would line up the holes in there, and then just punched the pegs back in, reattached the legs, and there you have it. That's really all that had to be done. And in my opinion, this figure looks a whole lot better now. The costume is way more interesting and there's a lot better color breakup, as Toast would say, and I think it just looks overall a whole lot better. I'm not going to do anything to change the head sculpt or the paint on it. I had been thinking of adding a little bit more white to the eyes just to lighten them up a little bit. I think that's the main issue that people have with this head sculpt, one of them, but that they haven't been able to really articulate into words. The eyes, just because they're so small and there's an outline around them, it just, all the white part's kind of gone, and so her eyes look very dark and it just looks a little bit strange. But I mean, up close, I think it looks fine. I don't know, I'm happy with it. I think this looks a lot better now. She even looks pretty good there next to her cousin, Kal-El. Here's kind of like a height difference, as you can see. This is the Hush Superman DC Multiverse figure. The only thing that's been changed about this figure is I did put a slightly longer neck peg in there because the one he comes with is just far too short. Everybody knows it. It's just a fact. So I changed it and I think it looks way better now. There's another additional modification you can make where you can extend the torso to be a bit taller, which basically fixes almost every problem I have with this figure alone. So I'm going to do that eventually as well, but even just for now, with the neck being higher and the jaw being squeezed in a little bit, I think this figure looks a lot better. And the blues match, so these guys will look nice on the shelf next to each other until I can get the third member of the Superman family custom finished. That'll be one of my next projects coming up. You'll just have to stay tuned to see what that one is. But I need a couple more pieces and some paint before I can show you guys that one. Well, there you have it. That was my custom McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Supergirl action figure made out of a couple of different McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures that I had left over from previous projects. Anyways, that's been about it. That's really all I can say about this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about how this was made, or if you need any help making one yourself, just shoot us a comment over here. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. And we will be back really soon with some more customs. We're going to be shifting a little bit back into the customization this year for sure. A lot more customs on the way and just a lot more content in general. So again, like and subscribe, leave us some comments on there, let us know what you think, and until next time, I am Dan, and I will see you next time on Void City Customs.